Would it be my preference if a girl just didn't even have social media? Probably.
This is giving red flags a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's the interesting thing is that men are not allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries. Nobody bats an eye when a woman says, I want XYZ in a partner. But the moment a guy says, here are my boundaries, preferences, and standards, oh, misogyny, red flag, this, that. And the fact of the matter is, women are more picky than men are. Women have far more standards for men than do men have standards for women. But if a guy says, I want XYZ, insecure, misogyny, blah, 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 it's always gonna be met with some sort of shaming language. But go ahead.
You're not physically attracted to them. It's ugly, phobic, and bigoted. Y'all don't see ugly people as human, and they show. Do you identify as ugly? Born ugly, but I'm trans handsome. You're trolling. Just say you hate ugly people and go. My fiance was far from my type. I fell in love and everything about him eventually. You are an out.
Miss, hey, what's the biggest red flag in a guy?
You walking up to me randomly.
Huh? What's the biggest red flag?
Their phone goes off at 2 a.m. randomly.
2 a.m.?
Yeah, all the time, every time. And their phone is always facing downwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the segment of the show called Dating Profile Appraisals. This is where I go through my actual Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and Facebook dating accounts and show you guys some of the ignorant ass profiles I've matched with. Now I know what you ladies are gonna say. Well, why did you swipe right on her if she had a rude dating profile? Ladies, let me let you in on a little secret. We do not read your dating profiles. We just swipe right until we run out of swipes. And the only way we unmatch you is if you're super fat, ugly, or you're a dude. Fellas, this is a real woman, and she does exist. Let's read along. Jalea, who's 21, writes, they call me Lee, baby. I'm a spoiled brat, LOL. Don't waste your time if you're a boring, broke bum. See, ladies, you see the double standard? If we put on our Tinder profile, don't waste our time if you're a single mom and one titty is bigger than the other titty, y'all would be getting us banned off of Tinder in 3 seconds. She continues to write, the sweetheart and a moody Cancer. New to Atlanta, so I'm looking for a friend to show me around because so far it's dry and I'm ready to go back to Chicago. Uh-oh. Chicago. Ladies, when you say you're from Chicago, we automatically think you are a hood chick. We think of Little Durk, King Von, Chief Keef. We literally think of gunshots every time you say Chicago. Kind of like this. Chicago. She continues to write, I have a smart mouth and I'm very blunt. Don't waste my time and I won't waste yours. Chicago born and raised. Don't swipe right if it don't make sense. Ladies, the arrogance and the cockiness nowadays is through the roof. To even make a profile like this and like literally be serious is crazy. Fellas, have you ever came across a profile like this before? Ladies, does your profile look like this? Ladies, if your dating profile looks like this, you need to reevaluate your dating strategy. Why not put something nice on your profile? Her whole profile is what she doesn't like about men or what she doesn't want. Why don't you ladies put what you can offer to a man or what you like to do? Put something intriguing on your profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
I never understood that. Like, if you come in with like a rude, combative energy, why would anyone want to deal with you? Like, I just don't understand that. Like, I mean, does it work for you? Like, it has to work for some people if they keep doing it, but like, it's just a shame. I mean, I guess you're gonna deal with, rude people who you can't count on if you're gonna come out like very rude and disrespectful like that.
That's what pushes most men away from it. It's the men are supposed to be the breadwinners that protect and provide, and then we're out here getting in the divorce court, and even like custody of kids. And you have a son too, so it's also like kind of stressful for you. But imagine a situation where I've heard a guy go to divorce court. Judge said, we need to see pictures of where your kids sleep. We need to see pictures of your fridge to make sure they have food in there. And he said, make sure you take photos of everything you do for your kids because you never know if you need a receipt of love.
Wow.
Hi guys. Most girls won't admit this, but for your sake, I will. I hate nice guys.
Don't worry, fellas. By the time she's 30, she'll take anyone.
Look, I'll give her some respect for actually saying it and saying how she felt and saying the truth. But the thing is, like, guys, you can be polite. I just say don't be a pushover, because a lot of girls, I feel like, just want a guy who could stand up for them and their family, which is totally fine. So be nice and be polite, but don't be a pushover. If someone disrespects you, just make sure to check them.
Traveling without me, and lied. My GF of 7 years for a few months has been telling me she is going on a trip with her female friend. I figured fine, whatever. A few days before she left, I noticed she was in a rush to go to the mall and buy all sorts of new. Thought it was a little weird, but assume it's just a coincidence. And then last minute I find out she's actually traveling with her female friend plus her friend's boyfriend. She said I only found out last minute, but then I later found out she's known all along that she's traveling as a third wheel and is going to be around another man the whole time, and they are renting an Airbnb for a few days together. I'm mostly confused why she would even lie about this, and also buying the new right before is weirding me out too. She has once used Tinder behind my back, so naturally, I have some trust issues and suspicion now. She's now staying at her sister's place. I have literally 43 voice messages in my inbox, dozens of emails and texts, but I just don't feel like replying. She's already dead to me, so why should I care about what she has to say? Nothing she says will make up for the betrayal. I've got my house key back from her, but I'll probably end up changing my locks anyways at some point. I've talked to her mom over the phone and explained to her what I walked in on and saw. All she did was apologize over and over again for her daughter's actions and semi-begged me to forgive her. I have quite a strict life plan that I drafted up at 16 and have been following very closely ever since. Everything until now has gone pretty much exactly according to this plan I wrote out. I thought this was the girl I'd marry and have my children with. I know that I'm still young and there are plenty more good girls out there, but I almost don't have the energy to bother starting over. As ridiculous as it might seem, I'm just disappointed that she chose this loser to be the thing to end our otherwise great relationship. I'd rather it be some demigod I'd never match up to rather than some pathetic man baby, because then at least somewhere in my head I could be like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
To understand that if you're outright about it, usually we're gonna be chill with it. If he would have been honest with me from the get-go, I would have been like, sure. And now I'm crying over this man that I didn't even really like. Like, he's a mediocre white man like the rest of them. And here I am crying about him, but it's not even about him. It's about the disrespect to me. And you couldn't even do me the favor of just being upfront with me. Instead, I have to sit here and think that, oh, maybe someone actually values me for more than just my body, you know?
I just think it's funny because in the full video, she actually shows her entire body like posing and she's like, hey fellas, I know what I bring to the table. So you're saying you bring your body to the table and you get mad when people see you and want you for your body.
Relationships, men or women?
Women.
If women are more easily bored, why are they more likely to want marriage and commitment?
Status.
If women are strong and independent and don't need no man, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
They're liars.
Acting on my impulsive thoughts gone wrong.
Gustavo, why would you do that? Why?
Why are you crying?
Pictures of my dad on here and it doesn't work.
I've never felt for short kings more until I watched this video.
Case, we wanted to see if anyone would pick 5'3" Rob. When Andrea told us women like doctors, we gave him an MD. Their choice?
Andrew. I would say Matt, I think.
No, Rob.
He's a doctor.
We piled on some more assets. We said besides being a doctor, he was also a best-selling author and champion skier who just built his own ski house.
Does that affect your choices?
He's still short. Then we gave Rob a promotion. We made him chief of staff at a prestigious hospital.
Who would you pick, Kim?
Angie's probably the closest to who I'd pick.
What?
I'd pick Matt.
He's chief of staff.
the pilot.
What would it take? Now we said Rob was also a gourmet cook who loves children.
Oh, definitely. I would take him in a minute.
Oh,
Height, no problem. I wouldn't, because I would think I don't want short little kids.
So I gotta say, shout out to all the short men, because y'all be playing life on legendary difficulty, and y'all still be living, man. Y'all still do it.
Yesterday a creep told me he loved my long hair, so today I cut it. I love your neck.
I'm on a date with a guy who's single, and he's not fucking any other girls, then I would be like, well, why isn't he? Like, what's wrong with him? Obviously, there's been some flags going off for other girls to make them avoid the situation. So, I mean, like, I personally would be like more inclined to want to go on a date, at least a first date,
with a guy who's
the guy who's like normal,
yeah,
who's like hooking up with girls and I'm hooking up with guys. Like, I mean, I feel like that's dating in 2022. Like,
this generation is doomed. What kind of logic is that? This generation is doomed, bro. That's crazy. How you're not gonna get with someone because they're faithful and they don't get with anyone else? That's crazy.
If she's sleeping with more than one person at a time, I consider that to be promiscuity. You're free to do whatever you want. You want to sleep with 10 guys? Do it. But I'm also free to not want to take you seriously in the long-term relationship because you're doing that.
For the ladies come and say, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. Trust me, I get it. But what J. Cole said, all jokes contain true shit. This is why I'm an advocate for never asking a girl to be my girlfriend. These young girls, anywhere from 19 up to 24, right? I don't know what's up with them, but they tend to crave something that they can't have. Don't believe me? Every first date you go on, do this. Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm dating with intention and I want a relationship with you. So hopefully within the next 3 to 4 days, we can make this official. You will probably get ghosted every single time. So what I always do is this. If they don't bring it up, we just keep on dating. All the relationships I've been in, the girl kind of came to me and was like, oh, so what are we? Are we this? Are we that? That's when you know she's interested. If she never brings it up, she probably has a roster of dudes too.
To the point where it gets down to that level. And she must have heard, besides from her female followers or friends, messaging from men at some point that said something positive about her. The reality is that guys are doing this because they'd rather get somebody who's less attractive than zero.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it just is not, it's not effective, and it hurts other men.
Right. And I do think
and
that
it spreads delusion.
It does. And I think that some women will even go on dating apps because maybe they're feeling not so great about themselves.
Yes.
And they
Validation-seeking.
They will get the validation just from having matches.
Yes.
You know, and then they won't even start a conversation, or they won't even...
Or they'll respond to a conversation.
Right. Yeah. And so I think that dating apps alone have also contributed to the
absolutely.
delusion.
Absolutely.